Well, I want to go over thousands of failed medical theories over the years, since the times of the pharaohs, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 years ago. Failed medical theories, there's been thousands of them each generation, each century, thousands of failed medical theories. Some of the big ones were, of course, all the diseases were caused by evil spirits. And then there were little gods up on planets who would direct your life, and you could burn goats to them and sacrifice dogs and maybe your neighbor to them in hopes that you'd prevent them from killing you. But then sometimes you had to burn goats to the good little gods for them to intervene on your behalf. And then there was spontaneous generation. This was engendered because they could hang a piece of meat out off the ground, and then within a week or so, there was maggots in there. So, well, there you go. It's not laying on the ground. The worms didn't jump out of the ground on them. So it just spontaneously generated, and they thought disease just happened. And then there were the four humours, black bile, yellow bile, blood, and phlegm. If they were out of balance, they had to balance your humours, because humours out of balance give you disease. And they invented bloodletting to balance the humours. They taught bloodletting in medical schools in the United States until 1920. And then the panacea. The panacea, of course, was the cure-all. And if doctors could only figure out how to convert lead into gold, if they could only convert lead into gold, they would be smart enough to be able to figure out the panacea, the cure-all for everything. Well, after a while, they gave up on that effort to turning lead into gold, and they just went after the gold. And then the prions. They thought prions were the cause of mad cow disease in cows and Creutzfeldt-Jacobs disease in humans, the little protein needles. They tried injecting them in other animals and people and never could transmit the disease. Not infectious, certainly not genetically transmitted. But prions, of course, are not the cause of mad cow disease or Creutzfeldt-Jacobs disease. It's a simple copper deficiency. And then saturated fat and cholesterol don't cause blockages of arteries and heart attacks and strokes. It's actually inflammation from eating fried foods, processed meats, oils, and gluten. And cholesterol deficiency actually causes low T, erectile dysfunction. Oh, yeah, by the way, Alzheimer's disease, if you remember that. Salt doesn't cause high blood pressure. And, of course, genetics is the biggest one. Recently, they said bad genes cause everything. We're going to come up with all these screening tests. They did, about 850 screening tests. And, of course, even James Watson, the guy who got the Nobel Prize for the double helix structure of DNA, came out and said, you can sequence the genes of 150,000 people a day who have cancer and diabetes, other diseases thought to be genetically transmitted. You're not going to cure anyone because all the experiments we've done over the last 6 years in genetics have been irrelevant. It's not genetics. It's chemistry, biochemistry, a.k.a. nutrition. So once you get a hold of my new book, Epigenetics, The Death of the Genetic Theory of Disease Transmission, and if you can find it, get a hold of it the first January edition of Time Magazine cover article where they said, your genes are not in control of you. Oh, yeah, your genes are not in control of you. You are in control of your genes. That's true. That's called epigenetics, the death of the genetic theory of disease transmission. And you take your 90 essential nutrients, you give your genes, your DNA, your RNA, and your telomeres, little caps on the end of your chromosomes, the 90 essential nutrients, 16 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 essential amino acids, 3 essential fatty acids, and you'll maximize your genetic potential for longevity and for health and fending off disease and speed and strength and intelligence. You can't just eat well. You're going to fail. Ask Steve Jobs. He died at 56 just eating well. He was a failed, unsupplemented vegan. You can be a successful vegan, but you have to supplement. Oh, yeah. Don't forget the 90 essential nutrients, 16 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 essential amino acids, 3 essential fatty acids. I've been taking the 90 essential nutrients twice a day for 68 years. A couple of months, I'll be 76. Yeah, 76. Wow. And I haven't been sick in 68 years. I've never been to a doctor in 68 years. And I've never been on prescription medication because I put oil in my car before the end burns up. I take the 90 essential nutrients before I get sick. And, of course, most diseases, and certainly we can do great things when you have type 2 diabetes. We can make you an ex-diabetic in 2 months. We can take your church family, make your church family an ex-diabetic church family in 2 months. We can make your town a type 2 diabetes-free town in 2 months. Arthritis is easy. We can, in fact, support and promote healthy maintenance, repair, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae. Congestive heart failure is a deficiency of a single vitamin. That's right. Cardiomyopathy heart disease is a deficiency of a single mineral. And, of course, coronary thrombosis, blood clot in the coronary artery, thrombotic stroke, blood clot caused by a blood clot, stroke, right, is all caused by omega-3 essential fatty acid deficiency, one of my 8 lawsuits against the FDA in federal court. You must supplement with the 90 essential nutrients. You'll add many healthy years to your life. You'll save yourself an enormous amount of unnecessary misery. You'll save yourself a gob of money, and you'll add many, many, many healthy years to your life. And, of course, people always say, well, come on, Wallach, now you're treading on thin ice here. Is there any research to this? Well, there's over $100 billion worth of research, including the 20,000 autopsies I did for the National Institutes of Health. They're the Center for the Biology of the Natural System. Book that came out of that in the Smithsonian Institute is a national treasure. Don't forget epigenetics. The death of Jake Mitchell. We'll be back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie for these messages. Okay, Doug, what pearls of wisdom do you have for us today?
Well, you're going to be amazed at this one. I certainly was when I saw this. A headline of this Fox News story is Ending the Multivitamin Debate. Why taking one may actually save your life. Can you believe that, Doc? Why taking one may actually save your life.
Well, that's what...
I mean, you've been talking about that for, 40 years or more. I say in this story, I say numerous studies in recent years have suggested that vitamins and supplements have no beneficial effect on your health. Some researchers have even gone so far as to warn people from even taking them, saying they're harmful. They say the fact is that most of us cannot get the vitamins and minerals we need from food alone. And they say multivitamins are vital to bridging the gap. This was a study published in the Journal of American College of Nutrition. They say roughly 40% of adults are deficient in vitamin A, C, D, E, calcium, and magnesium. Findings suggest that many people may not even have in the nutrient levels that they need to stave off disease. Well, we're well aware of that on this show, let alone thrive and live in optimal health. Another study that was published in the journal Postgraduate Medicine suggests that 68,000 cancers per year would be prevented with daily multivitamin use. The study followed only men, but there's no reason to assume that it doesn't apply to women. In the study, the multivitamins lowered the risk by 27% among men with a history of cancer and by 8% among men with no history of the disease. Study used randomized controlled trial design, considered to be the gold standard for medical studies. They go on to say several previous studies failed to prove the benefits of some vitamins. The fact is, many of those studies have been criticized for poor design and are the reason fewer tangible benefits have been proven. They go on to say not all multivitamins are created equal, though. Some contain cheaper, less absorbable forms of nutrients. Oh, maybe you should use some that are liquid colloidal. And they say go for high quality. Typical multivitamin label has about 100% of the daily values. The federal government developed those values during World War II, and I think it's about time they revise those too because they're woefully low. And they go on to say this was to prevent widespread nutrient deficiency. They say higher quality supplements are what you want, and they say get one that will be absorbed well into your body. Said avoid toxic fillers. Some vitamin companies use colorants, coatings, and that may be harmful. They include hydrogenated oils, artificial colors, magnesium stearate, titanium dioxide, magnesium stearate could even compromise your immunity. Stearic acid suppresses T cells. So there you go, Doc. You have been vindicated. I mean, this is a big one, I think.
Okay, yes. Well, it was inevitable that one day, and I was hoping it was in our lifetime, that somebody else would see what we've been seeing. Of course, I knew that when I was 9 years old because, I had what would be called Tourette syndrome today. To make a long story short, I figured out myself, and I figured I had some divine guidance there at 9 years old, that I could get rid of Tourette syndrome just by taking a supplement that was a multivitamin enriched alfalfa pellets for calves. And in 3 days' time, the Tourette syndrome that I'd had for 5 years, getting worse and worse and worse every day for 5 years, my friends said I was possessed because it was so bad, with facial tics and grunts and noises and everything. And I just read a nurse's handbook and figured I better take some vitamins and minerals. The only one I had available to me were these vitamin mineral-enriched calf pellets, alfalfa pellets. And in 3 days' time, a disease I'd been suffering with and getting worse and worse every day for 5 years went away in 3 days. So I knew when I was 9 that vitamins and minerals were useful. But I couldn't find any doctors who were kind of interested in it back then. And now you're saying in newspapers, doctors are taking out full-page ads. They're coming out with a vitamin C product with their name on it. They're coming out with a juice with multiple vitamins in it. They're coming out with probiotics. These are medical doctors. Before, they used to laugh and poo-poo guys like me who would say those things were good for you. So thank you so much for bringing that one to the surface, Doug. And yes, I do want copies of those so that we can get it out to the people. Thank you so much for bringing that one up. Well, stick with us. We're back to more truth, justice, and the young give it away. And dead doctors don't lie for these messages. Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
Let's head to Kansas City, Missouri. And Art, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Art, you're on the air.
Hi, Dr. Wallach, Mr. Winfrey. Thank you for taking my call.
Yes, sir. What's up?
Okay, let's see. I had taken a whole grain, a concentrated grain product for about 3 weeks. And I had welts on my back and really had a bad allergic reaction to it after the 3-week period. Well, I stopped it, but I noticed shortly thereafter between my toes got a fungal infection. Well, let me say this. I got irritated skin because I don't want to mislead you, but normally I can treat that when I go to the pharmacy with the over-the-counter medications. And it started after a couple of weeks to spread up my foot. And so I was soaking it with a 500 parts per million colloidal silver. And I've tried tea tree oil, but now it's kind of migrated throughout my body. And it's really got me concerned because my neck, just a severe itching all over my body, but at the neck where it burns.
All right, let me ask you a couple of questions. When you were a kid, did you have asthma?
No, not asthma, but came up around my grandparents' farm, and I hate to say it, we'd play in the chicken coop, so that for some reason parents had said, was a problem, but never asthma, no.
Okay. Did you have any skin problems, any eczema, dermatitis, psoriasis, rosacea, any itchy skin or acne as a teenager?
No, I did not. No medical problems other than this, and boy, this is coming up, it's just a headache.
Let me ask you a few questions here.
Okay.
Do you have any bowel problems, any constipation, diarrhea, anything like gallbladder problems, irritable bowel syndrome, appendicitis?
No, none of that. I'm age 63, 150 pounds, but none of those.
Okay. Do you have any brothers and sisters?
Yes.
Any of them have any of those problems?
No.
Okay. Shar, where would you start with this thing, Shar? Okay, well, maybe you don't have her. I thought we had her. Okay, well, basically, I would start with a gluten-free diet. Because if you've been eating all those whole grain breads and that kind of stuff like that, and this showed up afterwards, it takes sometimes a couple of weeks to get over those reactions. And what happens is, if you have an absorption problem, it might take you a full week for all that stuff to move along your intestines and absorb it slowly and stuff. And so stuff shows up for weeks. But hang on, let me finish here, Art, so we'll come back after these messages. Okay, Doug, we're going right back to Missouri and Art. Shar, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, did you hear Art's story?
I did not.
You did not?
I did not.
Okay. All right. Anyway, he ate a bunch of whole grain bread for 3 weeks, got really gung-ho on whole grains, started getting itchy rashes between his toes, went up his legs, on his neck, he's itchy all over, has no history of bowel problems, has no history of asthma, has no history of skin problems, he says, as a kid, or no acne. What do you think the problem is here?
He's got a gluten intolerance for sure.
Yeah, he weighs 150 pounds. What would you do for this guy?
If he's got no other problems, I would just get him on a gluten-free diet and give him 2 healthy start packs.
Okay, 2 healthy start packs, right? That would be 1 ounce of the Osteofx Plus at breakfast and dinner, 2 scoops of the Beyond Tangerine 2.0 NutriCrystal, which is drop-dead gluten-free, at breakfast and dinner, 3 of the EFA Pluses at breakfast and dinner, and wouldn't hurt to throw in the hair, skin, and nails. We could do that, too. The hair, skin, and nails good for his skin. 3 of those twice a day, 2 bottles a month. And as you said, Char, absolutely drop dead, no gluten, no wheat, no barley, no rye, or oats. If you're going to drink beer, it's got to be a certified FDA gluten-free beer, and there's several of those out there now. And don't forget, no fried foods. What do they roll stuff in before they fry it? Oh, yeah, wheat flour. Absolutely no processed meats or nitrates. What do they use for filler? And pastrami and bologna and salami. Oh, yeah, wheat flour. No meatloaf or meatballs. What do they fill that with? Cracker crumbs and breadcrumbs. But Art, give us a call every couple of weeks. And, of course, if you have itchy skin, you can use our CM cream topically to relieve the itch. But you need to change your diet. You may even have dog food in the house that has some gluten in it. Read the label on the dog food. Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
All right, let's head to San Mateo, California. And Emir, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Emir, you're on the air.
Yes, this is regarding my brother-in-law. He's 54 years old, and he is 270 pounds, and he's 5'10". He's suffering from sleep apnea, and his doctor prescribed him some inhalers he has asthma. So what should she do? What's the problem?
Okay, this is a lady who weighs 270 pounds?
No, he's my brother-in-law.
Oh, brother-in-law, a guy, okay. He weighs 270 pounds. Char, he has asthma. What would you do for this guy?
Doc? Yeah.
Yep.
He's definitely got a gluten problem. Asthma is a gluten problem.
Yep. And what would you do? 270 pounds. How many of the, this guy's got lots of problems here. He's only 5'10", and so I'd like to see him, be 180 pounds. They need to lose 90 pounds. So hang on in here. We'll be back after these messages, and we'll give you what your brother-in-law needs. We'll be back after these messages. Okay, Doug, let's go to California, back to Emir, and we're talking about his brother-in-law, who's 54 years old, weighs 270 pounds, and has asthma. Okay, Shar?
Yes.
Okay, the 270-pound guy, we know he needs to be on a gluten-free diet. What would you give him? And because he has, he's 90 pounds overweight, he's got probably other problems going on there. When you have asthma, you usually have digestive problems, you have skin problems. So what would you do for this guy?
Well, he needs 3, basically, I would give him 3 healthy brain and heart packs with all the stuff he's got going on. There's no such thing as sleep apnea either.
Okay. 3 healthy brain and heart packs, good.
That's what I.
What would you do for the weight challenge?
I'd give him the ASAP.
Okay, good. Thank you. Very, very good. You get an A+ there. Yeah, Emir, I'd go ahead and give your brother-in-law 3 healthy brain and heart packs per month. If that's a financial challenge, I wouldn't drop it any lower than 2. But ideally, he would get 3 healthy brain and heart packs per month. That'll be 3 of the Ultimate Selenium at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. 1 ounce of the Osteo FX Plus at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. 2 scoops of the Beyond Tangerine 2.0 NutriCrystals drop dead gluten-free at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. 3 of the EFA Pluses at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. 3 of the EFAs at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. All that will be accomplished by the 3 healthy brain and heart packs per month. I would get 2 bottles of the ASAP and have him put a dropper full, not a drop, but a dropper full of the ASAP under his tongue 30 minutes before each meal, and a second dropper full under his tongue 15 minutes before each meal, and let him absorb it through the oral tissues. Do not let him swallow it. It won't hurt him if he swallows it, but he's not going to get maximum benefit. And within a couple of days, he'll begin to lose anywhere from a half a pound to 2 pounds a day. And we have people who lose 140 pounds in 100 days. So it's not unusual within 60, 90, 120 days that he's going to be where he wants to be if he does everything right. And, of course, he's got to stay on the 90 essential nutrients forever, because it's not going to be in our soil and our food next week, next year, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 100 years from now. We must consciously supplement with it. And this is something that he'll have to deal with. And, if he has any other issues, we need to know that. But he'll sleep well, he'll have more energy, and he'll, do a lot of great things. Give us a call every couple of weeks. We want to know this guy's weight. I want to know how his asthma is doing. We'll walk you guys through this. Okay, Doug, let's go to callers.
Let's head to North Carolina. And Greg, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Hello, Greg, you're on the air.
Hey, Dr. Wallach. Got a question for you in regards to ALS.
Okay.
Got a gentleman. He's in his mid-70s. 120 pounds, so he's lost weight. I'm not sure how much, but his wife said it's considerable amount. He started out with tremors about 4 years ago. The doctors diagnosed that as being writer's cramp, and they gave him Botox shots to take care of that, but it never did take care of the problem fully. And so the ALS he was diagnosed with almost a year now. It was actually February 2013, 14.
Did this guy say why the doctors diagnosed him with writer cramps?
No.
That's strange. Okay, well, the answer here, of course, is good for ALS, which is Lou Gehrig's disease, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, and also good for Parkinson's disease, and also good for MS, okay? And Ashar, this guy weighs 120 pounds. Where would you go with this?
He definitely needs one healthy brain and heart pack, and he needs to get on a lot of eggs and butter, get on a gluten-free diet.
Okay, very good. Yep. One healthy brain and heart pack. I'd throw in another, but he has MS, possibly. And it's not unusual for some of these people to have all three, ALS, MS, and Parkinson's disease, because it's really the same disease. It just matters what part of the brain is affected more severely, what major symptoms they get, and the doctors make diagnoses. You see, they misdiagnosed him at first with writer's cramp. Hello. And so with tremors, I'm surprised they didn't call it Parkinson's disease. And so, at any rate, I'd go ahead and give him, as Shar says, one healthy brain and heart pack per month. I'd also throw in an extra bottle of selenium, so you could have up 3 of our selenium at breakfast and 3 at dinner time, a half ounce or a tablespoon of the OsteoFX Plus at breakfast and dinner, 1 scoop of the Beyond Tangerine 2.0 NutriCrystals, drop dead gluten-free, as Shar says, 1 scoop at breakfast, 1 at dinner, absolutely 3 EFA Pluses at breakfast and 3 EFAs at dinner time. All that will be accomplished with 1 healthy brain and heart pack and 1 extra bottle of selenium. I would also throw in the Smart FX, which is the raw materials for your neurons to make neurotransmitters for memory and cognition and socialization, all this other stuff going on with him. I would also throw in, as Shar said, 120 pounds, I'd have him eat 6 to 8 eggs a day, soft scrambled in butter, I'd oils or margarine, soft poached with soft yolk, soft boiled with soft yolk, and doesn't hurt to get his ORIC points above 100,000 and help the immune system deal with oxidative damage in the brain. He could have 5 of the Cell Shield RTQ twice a day, or 6 of the Triple Treat chocolate a day, 2 at breakfast, 2 at lunch for dinner. And, of course, it's imperative he stay away from all the bad stuff, no fried foods, no processed meats with nitrates and nitrites, no oils, no margarine, mayonnaise, salad dressing, cooking oils, no olive oil, no coconut oil, and no gluten, no wheat, brother, and oats. That includes dog food, cat food, bird food, fish food, spouse, because of cross-contamination in the laundry, food preparation surfaces, couch where everybody watches TV, and so on. And then give us a call every couple of weeks, Greg, and let us know how this guy's doing. Okay, Doug, we have time to start another one?
We certainly do. Let's head to Washington State. And Kathy, you're on with Dr. Wallach.
Well, Kathy, you're on the air.
Hi, Dr. Wallach. Thanks for taking my call. I have a few issues. I have poor sleep. I have hot flashes. My right hip hurts, and sometimes my low back, and I grind my teeth, and sometimes before I wake up, or when I wake up in the morning, I can have a small headache. I have toenail fungus, spider veins, and in November and in January, I had a bout of gastroenteritis. And that's actually in November. That's what got me interested in nutrition and with you, is that little bout, because the doctors didn't know what it was. They did ultrasound, CAT scan, hospital overnight. A lot of money spent there.
Okay. So let's ask you a couple quick questions here. As a kid, did you have asthma or skin problems?
No, but I had migraines.
Okay. Do you have children?
Yes.
Do any of them have skin problems or asthma?
No. Skin problems, a little bit. Yeah, like dandruff, that type of thing.
Okay. Did any of them have any bowel problems, constipation, diarrhea, belly pain?
I've been constipated most of my life until recently, and my firstborn, my son, was colicky.
Mm-hmm. Did you breastfeed him?
Yes.
Okay. Very good. Okay, Shar, what's the problem here? Oh, well, hang on. We'll be back after these messages. Back with Dead Doctors Don't Lie on the ZBS Radio Network. Dr. Joel Wallach here for Young Activity, 95 Crusade. And Douglas, go right back to Washington and Kathy. Now, how much do you weigh, Kathy?
I weigh 130, and I'm 5'3", and I'm 56 years old. And I should tell you, I've been gluten-free since November, and I've been on the product for 2 months. And I don't seem to get better yet.
Okay, good. Have you seen any improvement, sleep better, more energy, anything?
More energy, but my sleep is just as bad because my hip has not improved and my hot flashes have not improved.
Okay, now we have 1,000 products. You said you're taking our products. What are you taking?
The first month I just took the Healthy Start Pack, and the second month I got the Pig Pack with glucogel.
Okay.
And
okay, how much glucogel are you taking?
I'm taking 12 of those capsules.
Okay. You've been taking that for how long?
A month.
Okay. Yeah, maybe a little soon. Sometimes it takes, say, 60, 90 days to see something remarkable. But, Shar, what might be going on here? What might be going on where she's been taking the stuff for a month and not seeing anything?
She may not be absorbing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You get an A+ there. What causes spider veins, Shar?
A lack of copper.
Yep, and spider veins are kind of like varicose veins, kind of microscopic varicose veins. And so you're taking the right amount. Shar weighs about 90 pounds soaking wet, and she takes 12 glucogel a day. And so you're right there, but I would really work on the gluten-free thing. That includes your spouse and kids and mother-in-law, dog, cat, bird, fish. Yeah, I mean, there's got to be drop-dead gluten-free in the household, your workplace, anything, because of cross-contamination. I found families where they're gluten-free, and then the first ingredient in their dog food is wheat flour. And so you have to really make sure it's not in the house, okay? And for hot flashes, what would you add to her program for hot flashes, Shar?
Women's FX.
Women's FX, right. I go ahead, since that's been something really that's afflicting you, I go ahead with 2 ounces a day, ounce in the morning, ounce at night. That's 2 quarts a month, comes in quart bottles. And let's start there. And just really see if you can find any sources of gluten so you can maximize absorption. And give us a call every couple of weeks if you would, Kathy, and we'll walk you through this. But the Women's FX will certainly help you with the hot flashes. We have another new product called Xerafem, Xerafem, Xerafem. And that may be of use to you, too. You might want to get a bottle of that so you can take one of those tablets twice a day, one at breakfast, one at dinner time. And that kind of helps with dysmenorrhea, menopausal symptoms, premenopausal symptoms, that sort of stuff. And so you might want to try that, too. Okay, let's see. How much time we have here, Doug?
You got about 60 seconds.
60 seconds. Well, I'm going to go ahead and take it. Remind everybody, my new book, Epigenetics, The Death of the Genetic Theory of Disease Transmission, it goes into those diseases that doctors wanted you to believe for over 100 years that they were genetically transmitted. Turns out they're just simple nutritional deficiencies, either as during pregnancy as an embryo, come out with a birth defect, or you acquire them later in life and you acquire diseases that the doctors tell you are genetic, autoimmune. Get a hold of the book, Epigenetics, The Death of the Genetic Theory of Disease Transmission. It will change your life. It will add many healthy years to your life and the life of the people you love. It will save you an enormous amount of unnecessary misery. It will save you, as Kathy just said there, a lot of money is spent on looking for solutions for genetically transmitted disease when they're simple nutritional deficiency diseases. Get a hold of the book, Epigenetics, The Death of the Genetic Theory of Disease Transmission, and you will be updated. You'll know more than your doctors, which, might not be too hard to do. But you better catch him quickly because the average lifespan of a medical doctor in America is 56. And if he is 55 years and 8 months along, he's only got a couple of months to go. That's their survey, came out in 1999. And we got to take over here because the medical system has failed us. Well, thank you, Shar. Super job as usual. Thank you, Doug and Susan. Superlative job as usual. God bless each and every one of you. God bless our troops. God bless our Navy SEALs. And God bless America.